Right. So, chapter 10 is kind of a biggie when it comes to concepts, right? We're going to talk about hypothesis testing. We're going to start by talking about the structure of these tests, kind of the intuition behind what's going on, why we're doing what we're doing, right? This is kind of the opposite of the confidence interval. Before in the confidence interval, we had a sample and we were saying, okay, well, if this is our sample, then chances are the true population mean is going to be inside this range, right? Now we're going to kind of flip that on its head and we're going to say, well, we think the true population mean is here, but we got a sample mean over here. What's the probability that this over here really is the true population mean if we got a sample over here, right? Or over here, because we're going to use the sample distribution, right? We've got this beautiful sample distribution that we did back in a couple chapters ago. And now we're using that. We can find the probability of if this is true, if this is our mean, what's the probability of this over here happening, right? An example you're going to see in the notes is if the coin is fair, I rolled 10 heads in a row. Not rolled, I flipped 10 heads in a row. Is my coin fair? Or did I just actually flip 10 heads in a row? Because that's possible, right? Sampling variability. We know that it's possible to flip 10 heads in a row, but it's not very likely, right? So that is the kind of the premise behind what's going on here, right? It's a critical component of what's going on. So we've got the idea of what's happening. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the possibility of the errors, right? The errors, what's happening there. You're going to talk a little bit about the alpha value of the test, the significance level of the test, the probability of making a type 1 error. What is a type 1 error, right? We're going to talk about the actual structure of what the test looks like for a population mean, right? We're going to do a hypothesis test for a population mean, the test statistic, what the p-value is, what those terms mean, right? And then we're going to end. I have an example of working through a test in Excel. So your book gives this really nice, like step-by-step way of thinking through a hypothesis test. And I work through that in Excel. And you've got a couple really good examples on the chapter 10 examples assignment as well. So that'll help you kind of step through these tests. There are a lot of steps. There are a lot of weird moving pieces that are completely new. So take your time. There's not a lab in this chapter. So really do take your time on this material. Really kind of sit and make sure you grok what's going on and that you understand what's happening. So happy hypothesis testing. I hope you enjoy it.